TIP stands for Team Initiated Problem Solving. This is a collection of your staff coming together, looking at the factors that are contributing to issues that you may find on your campus, looking at the data, and then arriving at an appropriate way to intervene and to address the problem through effective solution elements. The TIPS process starts first by identifying your problem with precision. Identify the goal for change. Identify solution elements and create your implementation plan. Implement your solution with both fidelity and high integrity. Monitor the impact of your solution and compare against your goal. Make a summative evaluation decision.
Using the TIPS format and problem solving with a number of different adults at the table increases the probability that the goal that we set will be successful.
Monitor the impact of your solution and compare against your goal.
Our goal was to reduce referrals for disruption and defiance in the classroom in second grade to less than 6 by May 1st. So we'll go over to our data divers and ask, did we reach our goal?
The TIPS meeting format is a decision-making framework. We look at the data, we find out which direction we need to go, we have to measure our impact.
We only had one second grade referral.
Reduce referrals for disruption and defiance in the classroom in second grade to less than 6, and we did it to 1.
To 1, yes.
Awesome. I would say that would be successful. Once a month, we pull the discipline data, and we look at referrals, we look at time of the referrals, we look at the location of the referrals.
We had 28 referrals in minor physical contact and physical aggression. And when I looked at it and broke it down, 43% were in the classroom and 57% were out on the playground.
Then that's when our data person kind of pulls it all together and we look at, okay, where are some discrepancies, what are some needs? Then we make a precision statement.
So the precise statement was in 3:06 to 4:30, there was a spike in physical contact, physical aggression at third grade recess.
And then we set a goal. What do we want to do? We want to decrease the amount of referrals, and then the team brainstorms ways to do that, and then we put those in place with who's going to do it and by when. And then 2 months later, because we're year-round, we will look at the data again to see if we met that goal and if we implemented the things that we said we wanted to implement with fidelity.
So we've come up with our precision statement, we've identified a goal, now we get to find out what are we going to do about it. So we have a list of solution elements that the team can collaborate around and come up with an action plan about how they want to address the specific problem they're seeing at their sites.
So the what is the wellness data, the when is by June 28th, and the who would be Mr. Jackson.
And those solution elements require action items. So the team members decided on who was going to do what, by when, and make sure that these tasks were done in an efficient manner. So if we arrive at a solution element and we've identified a goal for change, we're not going to know the impact until the following month. So the next month comes around, team meets again, pulls similar reports, and we find out, did we make a change in what we thought we would? The TIPS form allows you to really indicate who's on the team and what their roles are. The form continues by listing the agenda items that they hope to accomplish for the hour that we allot for the meeting. We then want to look back at our previously defined problems. What happened in the previous month and what impact did we have with our solutions? We now can look at our current month issues, our precision problem statement, our solution elements, and our action steps, including our goal and timeline. If there are any administrative or general information issues that we want to cover, now's the time. We can complete our TIPS meeting by making an evaluation of how well we did. Was today's meeting a good use of our time and resources? When a TIPS team is trying to arrive at a goal for change, we need to make sure that these goals can be something that they can do in a month's time. We want to make sure that they're achievable, that's something that we can measure using the data.
It does encompass the entire student body, which affects the most change. So we are able to really dial in on the areas of need.
Today's meeting, we're going to address defiance and disrespect in the classroom setting.
All right, welcome everyone. The agenda is on the board so you can take a look at what we're going to talk about today. We'll look at our discipline from March. Ms. Bliss is going to give us our discipline data.
There were 149 incidents last month in March. The most was the tardies again at 35, and then the second most was minor defiance, disrespect, and noncompliance with 33. So our precision statement is that there are many discipline, minor disrespect, defiance, and noncompliance happening in the classroom after lunch, and the numbers seem to be split between 7th and 8th grade.
When you identify a problem with precision, you're taking a collection of the different behavior reports and summaries that you've collected. You're putting them into a who, what, why, where, and when.
We developed lessons to
Yes.
be implemented and delivered in the advocacy class. We asked students to take surveys. We came up with incentive-based reinforcement and rewards for students. So we implemented our action steps by a certain deadline and time, and then we came back and looked at, okay, now ran the report again. And we found that it made a difference, that it helped.
The number of tardies we had in February were 50, and the number of tardies we had in March was 35.
So we
That's
did
a
finally
nice
see
little
that
drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. So make sure that you share that data out at your staff meeting with your teachers so that they see, yes, it made a big difference because it dropped by 15 tardies in a month. That's really great.
It works best when the team is able to really verbalize and share what goes on during those meetings. We don't want to work in silos. We don't want to only talk about things during the staff meeting.
The TIPS format forces us to be very data-driven, and that's specific to the PBIS piece. And so then we use that data to determine the action steps, and then most importantly, who's responsible for those action steps? When do we expect those action steps to be completed? What are the outcomes from those? So the TIPS format really forces us to stay on track and be solution-oriented, and then keep coming back to, okay, what's working, what's not working.
So just to recap, the number of defiance, noncompliance, and disrespect is pretty split evenly, but between 7th and 8th grade students, and we're seeing it primarily after lunch.
You can look at things that you want to prevent. You want to look at things that you can teach and reinforce, some corrective steps if you need to.
We have some solution actions to teach. Number one, the staff during our pre-service when we come back, but also right now, going back into the classroom, reminding our students about being rich. We also have some preventative measures we can look into. This year, Ms. Green is going to send out the mindfulness videos to the staff and just talk about giving that 5 minutes in class might help kids settle themselves so that the ease of transitioning from lunch to class is a little bit better. And then always acknowledge, so there's the suggestion to do the Monday Rich focus for teachers to say, hey, look at this, look for students doing this, and give them rich tickets. So for right now would be students who are being respectful and compliant. Let's honor those kids and reward them with rich tickets.
Now that we have a solution element, we have our action plans, it's up to the team to follow through with these action steps. It's up to the team to be responsible and to hold themselves accountable to what they've agreed to do in the meeting.
The solution elements always have to come back to the relationship piece,
Right.
building the
Yes.
relationship.
The counselors are out there during the high times of tardies, and we connect with the kids and say, hey, why are you not going to class on time? Figuring out what some of the concerns and issues are and trying to maybe mitigate some of those. And then we can encourage them the next day, hey, let's get to class on time because now I know based on what you shared with me, this is an area of improvement, area of growth for you.
I like this because there's nothing on there that talks about punishment. There's nothing in the solution element that says find the offenders and punish them. This is a tier 1 school-wide, where are the kids making errors and where can we find something that's instructional in nature.
The social emotional piece is huge. It's one that you can't really quantify. And those things I can share with the team and say, these are the trends that we're seeing. This is where our kids are really could use some support and some services, and then we mobilize in that way.
I think the most important thing in a TIPS meeting is transparency. We just talk openly to each other about what's going on in the classrooms, out at lunch. And so although we have the hard data, we do have the anecdotal data too that supports it and helps us kind of see where everyone's coming from.
While it allows for some of the anecdotal feedback, it continues to force us to come back to the data though from which to formulate our action steps and determine how we're going to move forward.
In general, are the completed tasks having the desired effects on student behavior?
For us here at Edward Harris Middle School, there's nothing more important than PBIS. And so our commitment to the Tier 1 meetings, the Tier 1 team, and that includes the TIP format of our meetings, is a critical piece to make sure that we're implementing PBIS with fidelity, but we are consistently coming back to the data to help guide our action steps and help grow the program.